Hi, it's time for a Gesso tutorial today in the series of my tutorials for using mixed media in journaling. And Gesso is probably the medium you already are familiar with. But in case it's a subject you don't have a clue about, I shortly introduce you. There's a blog post in my... Sorry, there's a huge tractor out there. Okay. There's a blog post about Gesso in my personal blog, as well as in Varalusikka's blog, so, or Paper Gardens. So you can find more details introduction there. But Gesso is the primer used for paintings. They kind of make a secure basement for any canvases or any surfaces you are using for painting or for mixed media or whatever you choose to do. And it's water-based and non-toxic, so it's really safe to use, and it doesn't smell bad or smell at all, actually. And the only thing, like in every medium, from paint to glue to everything, even if they are water-based, you need to wash your hands or brush or face or clothes or table when you have sprinkles or splashes of gesso or whatever in it, because when they dry permanent usually. But let's start with me showing you that all these all this white stuff is gesso. I have used only a thin layer of gesso here and there, and then thicker layers that shows out more white. And it's a perfect medium for hiding your mistakes or making new surfaces after ripping off stuff and then starting again. And when using Gesso, you can it kind of makes safe structured sealing surface, whatever, that makes everything from paint to ink to whatever medium you are using after that, they will not be absorbed into the paper, but stay in the surface and are workable. And here are the pages that I have made. This is my unfinished journal that I have used a lot of gesso here. But then, for example, in this journal there are I have used gesso for kind of softening the hard greens over there, because I didn't find them very suitable for the page. And here I have tested clear gesso. This one by Finnebear. This is heavy gesso, this is white, that I usually use, and it also dries white. But this one dries clear and it stays clear all the time, and the good point of these are that they don't yellow when they age. So I have made a surface, kind of sealed the photo here, so I have been able to work over it more kind of freely, and I haven't been afraid that I would actually damage the photo. Then let me see, here are a lot of gesso here and there. And here blending. I love using distress crayons. That is going to be a whole different tutorial altogether, but I always use gesso behind, or yes, behind it, below it, because then I can spread or blend the paints or crayons more easily. After it wasn't here, sorry, I'm looking for quite something. This is my journal. Here, do you see it? Maybe is it more visible in here? Let me show you. Oops. Do you see the splashes around here? Sorry, it's really hard to see. All the splashes here and here are made of gesso, and I love it. I love the effect of kind of a bit of dreamy, soft look these sprinkles make. And now I'm going to show you how to do this all. One more thing I want to show you is how I have used gesso is here. There are Finnabair acrylic paints, impasto paints, and liquid acrylic paints, but all the white parts are made of gesso. So I hope I could make you see the structure of it. It's really 3D. You can work with gesso. So there's effects that can be made with gesso if you want to. And here are a kind of snowy effect of adding just a tiny bit of really dry gesso here and there. And now I show you how. Okay, first I think I will show you how to do the sprinkles, or maybe, oh, baby wipes. These are my favorite tool for blending, so I have them at hand because I can show you why. If I add gesso here and there, I can, you know, just add them freely and then wipe off any excess I don't want there, because baby wipes are wet. They don't absorb everything like kitchen towels would, so that's why I use them. Okay, and then a bit of gesso here and there too. Now I take a bit of water, a bit of gesso and water, and then just sprinkle with my hand here and there. And clean my fingers. You see, it was easy. Really easy way to add some lovely soft effect to your journaling or your tags or your snail mail or greeting cards or gift bags, so whatever you choose to do. It's simple and it's easy. Okay, it's a bit messy too, but that's because I'm a clumsy person. So one way of using Gesso, really easy one. Okay, then I decided to show you another one. Normally I would have inked all these, but I forgot. And now I show you how to blend the whole area with it, so that it doesn't kind of border that much that they are cut out prints, because they a bit more easily blend together. Now I use my heating tool because I want it to dry. I made a soft even layer of gesso, but I want to add just a tiny bit of really dry gesso, making sure it's dry, because like this, you see, here and there, and this light of January is absolutely terrible because I need to use electricity and not natural light, and I hope you can see it. So whiter parts and not so white parts, and when you see the video where I use crayons or paints, you can see that I have always, or then I mention if I have not used gesso below and behind the surface. Here are just cardboard box bits that I wanted to show you that when you add really dry gesso like this, it kind of looks really interesting, and you could add it to your project if it's okay that it's dimensional, and it looks really different from the bits of cardboard that hasn't anything in it. You see they're completely different looking than the dull cardboards. And Mr. Hemingway wants to visit me again. He always is really sad or mad when I close the door, because he loves when I journal and wants to sit right over my projects. And here is another way of using Gesso. Sorry if I'm too quick. You can rewind the video and watch it again if I just want to make sure my phone doesn't cut the video early if the memory is full. So I'll try to run quickly. This is stencil image made with only gesso, and it's a bit dimensional, and look how lovely it looks. You could add some paints to the gesso or powders or something, or then use waxes over it, or paints or inks, and or just as it is. Think about how beautiful a blank craft journal cover would look with an image like this on the cover. It's easy. You need a stencil. This is Tim Holtz one, and an old what's credit card. Don't use credit cards. That's not expired yet. Old credit card or a palette knife like I do. Take a little bit of gesso and spread it to the surface you want to add your decoration. And I clearly didn't manage to make a really clear impression now, because I went through the stencil too many times with my knife when I was explaining. But because I can't run to clean this under the sink immediately, please you do that, because there is no way you can clean it after it's, or you can try to rip it off, but when it's cleaned, I think I even put it like this, so it stays moist, and after the video I can clean it up. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It was easy, wasn't it? Just swipe like this and you have an image in your cardboard or what it is that you like to use. And then I want to show you one more quick thing, because I don't have that many projects I can show on actual projects with actual projects. The dimensional part, I used palette knife, and you see there's a lot of ways you can play with gesso, and imagine some paints and waxes and so on here and there, and you can do wonders with the material. And if you are not satisfied with it, just take your baby wipes and clean it off like that. So it's really simple material to use. Okay, and now after the thorough introduction, I'm sorry it took so long, I show you in my actual page how I use gesso in my journaling. This is a page that you have probably seen in, or will be seeing, depends on the how you are watching these videos, but I have used soft matte gel by Bear with gluing all the papers there, so it's a nice even base and surface for using any kind of mediums, or because it kind of seals the background a bit. And now I'm making another layer of sealing. I have no clear image in my head what's how it's going to look like, so I just, you know, add Gesso here and there, and take my baby wipes, and because I want this part to show a bit more, I take a bit off, and remember to make sure you have a paper that protects the sheets beneath your working surfaces, because this would easily ruin the other sheets pages behind or glue them together. That's first scenario. You see, the Gesso makes the really different kind of papers, different colored papers, kind of blending together so that they don't pop out so much. It's a nice even base. And then I simply add more Gesso in places I want kind of not to hide, but you know, not to pop out. And that much. And because I have used soft material, I can try to take off the Gesso, but it's because I didn't do it immediately, it has dried already. But that's okay, because this is a project where I want the ladies kind of be inside the page, so they kind of rise up there. Okay, I'm sorry, it seems it doesn't, it glistens a bit for you, but here it was. I simply or quickly dry it, because then you can see how it looks when it's dry, because it doesn't look completely similar to the wet one. It dries out a bit more thin layer of Gesso than it was when it was wet, and it don't clean that much too. You see, this way, all the added stencil dye parts of Tim Holtz dyes, all the different kind of papers. There are rice papers, there are tea bags, and vintage papers, and a lady print. They look like they belong there together, and that's what I love about Gesso. And next I would be adding some paints and stuff there, but definitely this one is going to have a quote there by Emily Dickinson, you know, blackout. In this world that lasts an hour, but an hour, how little is within our power, or something like that. It's going to be there, and then I will sprinkle Gesso all over it, so it will look soft and gentle and clean, dreamy. But that was a quick, or not so quick, but a relatively quick tutorial of using Gesso. You will find Gesso from any kind of artists stores or craft stores. It's really usual that it's so common that in Finland we find it in our grocery stores too. So you don't need to use Finnabair's Gesso. This is heavy Gesso, so this is really thick. While this clear Gesso is much thinner stuff. It's liquid, and you find that there are different kind of Gessos all over the world. Some are thinner or more liquid, some really heavy, thick ones like this. I like this one because it's it does what I tell it to do. So it kind of I'm the master for this one. I have used Gessos that are so liquid that I'm not fast enough when I craft, and I like it in a way that I know that I will be having the effect I want to. So that's why I use this one. But I really do hope that you get some ideas of your own how to use it. You could use it, I guess, so on your weekly spreads maybe. Add some sprinkles or stencil images, or just kind of blending parts together and softening the look. And in different kind of tags, it's fantastic material. Not to mention the importance of it when you are doing canvases or other paint projects, when you use this as a primer and seal the surface you are working with. But that's a whole another story, because this tutorial was about journaling. So I really hope you find yourself looking for a bottle of Gesso and trying it. It's a gentle one. It almost has a smile in it. It really doesn't smell bad. It's easily washable from your hands. It doesn't. It's not messy. So even if you are crafting in a pretty table among pretty things, you don't need to be afraid of using Gesso when you craft in fear that you damage all the surfaces. And well, I would love to hear if you found my video helpful, or if you got inspired and decided to have a go. And remember that my now 7 years old daughter has used this since age 5, and nowadays she's so flexible and so fluent in mixed media and in journaling that she just goes to my mixed media storage and says that, "Hey mom, I want to do some mixed media. I took your Gesso and your brushes. I promise not to ruin them. I promise to put them to water." And she loves the bit of using heating tool. And that's why she loves to use Gesso so much. But the whole point is that if a 5-year-old and 7-year-old know how to use it, and can use it, so can you. It's not difficult or scary at all. It's fantastic feeling when you find yourself doing something really and completely new things and find out that, oh, I really can, and I know this, I can do this, and now I know so much more, and have at least 700 projects in my mind that I can do with it. Test it, and I hope you don't be disappointed. And thank you so much for watching, and see you soon again. Bye bye.